intending students who wants to come and study in Canada, then this video is for you. So I had someone consult me some days back, and the reason why his visa was refused was because the visa officer said his statement of purpose was not convincing enough. So statement of purpose is one of the things that you need to include in your study visa application if you want to come and study in Canada. The statement of purpose actually explains a lot of things that the forms that you are filling during your visa application cannot really explain. So anything that you need to explain extra, or anything that you want to point the visa officer to that would positively affect your application, or if there's anything that you think will negatively affect it, but you have an explanation that you can make about it so that the visa officer will not see you in bad light, you are expected to write that in your statement of purpose. And so one of the key things that you write there is why you are coming to Canada to study the course that you selected. And if this is not well written, your visa can be refused. Now, the statement of purpose would actually explain in depth why you selected the course that you are going to study, and it will also explain a lot of things about the course, about the school, if you have about your finances, if you had previous refusals, if you have traveled in the past, it talks a lot about yourself, but most times you are trying to portray yourself in good light. You are trying to show the visa officer things that relates to you that are not in the form that you have filled, that you want him to see and read and understand, so that when he's looking at it, you'll be able to look at what you have written there and use that to make an informed decision. Now, if you don't write a statement of purpose while you are submitting a study visa application, it's not saying your visa might not be approved, but someone that writes one has a higher chance of getting an approval than someone that did not put a statement of purpose in his application. As I said earlier on, a statement of purpose explains the reason why you're going to study, talks about the course you're going to study. You can even highlight the courses you are taking and explain why you decided to take this course and what you like about each of the courses that you are taking in that class. It actually helps to show that you have done your research, you really wanted to go and study this course. It's not as if someone just pushed a course on you or just saw the course somewhere, and when your statement of purpose is well written, you have a high chance of getting an approval because it helps the visa officer understand your mind. Canada Canada visa applications does not always lead to an interview. What I mean by that is most of study visa applications for most countries just require you submitting an online application. So you're not likely going to be called for interview unless there's an important issue that came up and they want to call you to come and defend yourself. They might schedule an interview. But in most cases, you just need to submit online. And when you submit online, you submit all your documents, your bank statements, your proof of funds, your documents that shows that you have TALs, your admission letter, and all the documents you submit them. And the visa officer will look at all those documents and use that to decide if it will approve your visa or not. So, but the statement of purpose presents you better to the visa officer. Things that the visa officer would not see or does not know, you're able to write them in the statement of purpose. And when he sees it and he goes through it, he understands your application better, he understands you better, he gets to know more about you and the reason why you decided to choose the course that you want to go and study, and the reason why you decided to come and study in Canada. All this will be clearly explained in the statement of purpose. And when the visa officer says this, he can read it, he can understand your mind. It's quite different from when you are coming for an interview where the visa officer can, at that point, ask you questions. The answers you give to those questions, he will be able to use that to decide if he would approve your visa or not. But when you are just doing online submission, the visa officer is not right in front of you. So the only way you can use to convince him or add extra things to what you have filled in your form is by writing a good statement of purpose, which will contain every other thing that you think is not on the form, or if there are documents that you have added to your application that you want to explain one or two things about it. And obviously, if you look at the forms for study visa in Canada, there's just a little space where you can actually explain any extra thing if you have an extra thing to explain. But a certain purpose that you're going to add to your application gives you the ability to express your mind as much as you can. And when the visa officer sees this, he would actually understand that, oh, okay, this is this. Even if they don't read it, it is also very good to ensure that you had one to your application, because you might need it for future applications. We have had instances where some people had come to us and they had queried them in subsequent applications about some things, but the defense that was now used finally was that, oh, I'd applied before, and that previous application I declared this, I explained this in my statement of purpose, so you can now tell me that, oh, I didn't declare this, or I'm trying to misrepresent. So that can really help you. So if you have anything that you think can show you in good light, anything that you want to explain extra, that the forms and the documents that you have submitted does not show them clearly, yeah, you can use your statement of purpose to explain this, and it will be clear that this is what you are doing. So when you're writing it, you don't have to write 20, 30, 40 pages. No, be concise. Visa officers have limited time when they are reviewing applications. They have so many applications to review within a short period. So whatever you are writing, it needs to be clear. It needs to go to the point as fast as possible. And if you have something that is important that you need to make them see, it might be good to bolden it or highlight it so that it can easily catch their attention when they are scrolling through what you have sent. Because you don't want to write 30 pages or 50 pages of statement of purpose and you think the visa officer will sit down and be going through all of that one by one, page by page, that, oh, this person has written 86 of SOP and now I need to go through it. No, you're just going to do it yourself. I don't think that would be beneficial to you if you waste time to write so many pages. Whatever you're writing on this should be clear, should be concise, and it should be straight to the point, so that when he sees it, he doesn't have too many things to read. It just goes through. He can skim through it, and if he skims through it, he sees what you have written. If you, just like I said, if you have any important thing you want to highlight, that you can bolden it, you can highlight it so that you want to bring his attention to that, so that he can quickly see that, and if it's very important, he can go through it, and he can now use that to make a decision when he's finally deciding on your application. So make sure that your statement of purpose is well written, make sure it's concise, make sure you add it to your application when you are doing a study visa application. If you do this, it's really going to help you, and at the end of the day, you have a high chance of getting a visa approval.